Good morning, everybody. Rachel here from Fusion Fit Coaching and Training. I am on here doing it live this morning, and I want to talk to you guys about what I call an awareness spectrum, and specifically the food awareness spectrum and its role in your eating and food choices and nutrition, and therefore your ability to make changes around your eating and your nutrition based on, depending on what your goals are. So what is this spectrum and this awareness spectrum? And there's two ends of it, and the extremes are either overthinking, obsessing, needing to stay on a routine or diet or plan or structure, like very structured, regimented way of thinking. And that's one end of the extreme. And the other end of the extreme is where we just check out and we kind of throw in the towel. We really don't care. We're exhausted. We are tired of that overthinking and that obsession and that, needing for control. So one end of the spectrum is zero control, and the other end is complete control. And the reality is neither truly give us control, and they're false senses of control and trust with ourselves. And so we don't want to hang out at either end of this awareness spectrum of overthinking, overcontrolling, obsessing, or not thinking at all, unawareness, lack of care, and throwing in the towel. So where do we want to hang out? We want to hang out right in the middle. And that is the foundation of mindfulness, is that subtle feeling and awareness of hanging out in the middle of these two extremes of not caring and not thinking and over caring, overthinking. And this really is it's a foundational piece of the Food Freedom Program and everything I do with nutrition, but it's also the foundation to almost everything in your life. You don't want to overthink something or not think about it at all, because neither of those are going to get you anywhere. Instead, what is going to get you somewhere is hanging out right in the middle, and that's where the foundation of mindfulness is. So what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is just that moment-to-moment awareness and feeling. But if you've been following something structured or rigid, or if you have perfectionistic tendencies, or if you get anxious when you feel like you have a lack of control, it's hard to be in mindfulness. And if you have not really cared for a while, say you haven't been on a diet, maybe you've really never tried to make a change in your life, or you really feel like of the past times you've failed, or it's too hard for you. So you've hung out on the I don't care end for so long that mindfulness is scary too, because you're not used to paying attention to what you need and what, and what your body's telling you. But in the middle is really where life is. That's where your intuition is. That's where intention is. And the middle point of awareness is where we want to live most of our lives. When it comes to our eating and nutrition, this middle point is the key and the root of how you're going to make changes, because you can't make changes if we don't know if we don't know how to balance things, if we don't know where you are right now, if you don't know how you're feeling, if you don't know what your needs are, and numbers and counts and all that can't tell you that. So I want to help you find that middle ground. I know myself, my own experience is I am an overthinker. I have perfectionistic tendencies. I do get anxiety, and this is very personal to me, but I still go in and out of wanting to essentially over control things. I don't necessarily follow diets and eating plans. I've never done that, but I over control with food rules and shoulds and controlling how many things, and it gets overwhelming, because at the end of the day, not everything matters. So how do we bring ourselves back to mindfulness? Is we give ourselves something to focus on, and we become discerning. And by being discerning, we identify that not everything is important, and the things that are most important are the things to focus on. And by becoming discerning and putting your energy and your effort into the things that really matter, and identifying that maybe only 2 or 3 things of the topic that we're talking about, if it's food, great. If it's something around work or business, don't think about everything. Pick 2 to 3 things that really mean something, and practice being mindful around those, and let the rest go. But when you have tendencies of perfectionistic thinking, overthinking, ruminating, obsession, this can look all different ways. It can look like you trying to stick to a diet and sticking to the diet regardless. It can look like you having to have a meal plan, and if you don't have that meal plan, throwing your hands up in the air because you get so anxious, or becoming anxious and irritable around food and eating. Or it could mean that you either have to go, if you go out or with friends or something, you are so in control that you go in and you know exactly what you're having and you're not enjoying it. Or you then end up saying no to doing things that you like. And when you do that and you get scared, it's a scary thing. When you overthink things and when you want everything to go your way, life does not happen that way. And this really is applicable to your entire life, not just your food and eating. But I approach it first from food and eating, but then translate it into the rest of your life because it's so important. And I do mostly nutrition and fitness. But lifestyle-wise, perfectionistic, anxiety, overthinking, over-control, lack of trust in yourself, lack of belief, those are all scary things. And the solution to that, I know myself firsthand, when I start overthinking and over-controlling and getting anxious about things, I reach a point, and I wish I could reach it sooner, but I reach a point where I end up like almost throwing in the towel. However, the difference is when I say throw in the towel, I don't go to that I don't care thing, but my mindset actually has developed over time where instead of over-controlling and going to like, I don't care, I move from over-controlling to letting go, throwing in the towel, and literally letting be, like, let be free, trust myself. And in doing that, I ask myself, okay, what is most important? What can I let go of? And in order to get to that answer, we have to start practicing mindfulness. So instead of me going from this over-control to not thinking at all, I've learned to shift from over-control, perfectionistic, needing to have a plan, not able to go with the flow, to mindfulness. And that is where we check in with ourselves. So asking ourselves questions, getting objective, staying engaged in how I'm feeling, what my bigger priorities and focus is, what things are most important, what is most important. And as a coach, this is where I can help you, is helping you determine what is truly most important, because not everything is. And when you can become discerning about what is most important and what's not around your eating, around your life, around your business, around your personal endeavors, even around your fitness and your training, not everything matters. All the fine print that we want to matter really is just distracting us from the bigger pictures that can get you all the results. And for an overthinker or somebody who has perfectionistic and anxious tendencies, it's very easy to think of all these fine prints and the shoulds and the rules and what to do and how to do it and all that stuff. But it then ends up freezing us in our paths. So my solution, and the solution that I approach everybody I work with, is instead of overthinking and then shifting to that I don't care, throw your hands up, brain shutdown mode, we transition from overthinking and over-controlling to mindfulness and discernment. So mindfulness and discernment is critical on your journey to improving your eating and nutrition, to feeling like you can trust yourself. And instead of control, it's trust and permission. And I help you do this all when we work together, not only with my group training, but with my group coaching, one-on-one, anything. I've worked with a lot of people this way of like, what really matters. Determining what really matters is going to help you in your entire life. And practicing, it's all a practice, practicing letting go of the rest. And, for the rest, just do your best. So this is a little kind of personal journey of mine, but also this is directly applicable to my Food Freedom Accelerator program, me helping you coaching you through your nutrition, your eating, through body change, through weight loss. I'm here for you, and the trick is to move away from all these extremes, whether it's, not paying attention in our mindset of extremes of like over-controlling, lack of controlling, or if it's moderation and finding the middle ground of moderation, meaning satisfaction. So moderation is the extremes of like overly full and starving, in different areas of our life. Full can mean fullness in our lives, and we can have these highs of feeling full and happy and satisfied in our lives. or we can have these lack of feelings, but finding the middle ground and navigating that middle and finding satisfaction every day in our lives is really the solution. And we do that through mindfulness too. So mindfulness and discernment is the starting point. And let me help you do this. So if you have any questions, please at any time, I'd love to hear from you guys. I really want to know, like, I would love to know, like, are you somebody too that you know, deals with anxiety, deals with stress, that has perfectionistic tendencies? Because I want to help you on your journey, because I get it. I've been there. I have come up with so many tools and strategies over the years, and it really is a journey. It's a process. It's not like you reach an endpoint and then you stop thinking. It's constant, ongoing, moment to moment awareness, and I'm going to help you do that. So if you have any questions, let me know. Have a good one, everybody.